I'll talk about it on camera. I don't care. Uh, well, first before we start, here's my mug this morning.
It requires pants. It's not happening. Mine is my traditional,
Oh yeah, that one I'll be watching. We say yes.
my little baby Kima girl,
Yes.
who had such a very, very bad, whatever she ate, put her in the hospital overnight. Let me put it to you that way.
My poor baby. They pump it out. She crap it out with the.
She's crapping it. She's crapped it out. Now she's constipated because all the medicine she's taking. So she's gone from one extreme to the next.
Oh, poor
But
baby.
huge, huge shout out to the folks at Access Animal Hospital, Winnetka and Ventura. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So yeah, baby's home resting comfortably now. And had a normal bowel movement this morning. So we're happy.
So you were able to call them anytime. Like was able to just call them and say, "Hi, I have this condition. Can I bring? You know, was it that or yeah, something
Yeah.
like
So there are 4, I think, 24-hour emergency vets in the Valley. So imagine they're shutting down, right? They're at capacity a lot. So sometimes you can't get in
wow.
unless it's like a really true emergency. And what Les and I, came to the realization that there were a lot of us in the parking lot waiting where our dogs were not like rattlesnake bit
Oh, okay.
or poisoned or attacked by another animal or in a car accident. Like we're there for what the emergency vets think is like more routine maintenance and care. So I think that that's part of the overwhelming weight. They're trying to train people, I think, but at the same time, for us, it didn't matter when she was pooping blood. We were like, no, we're going. We're not waiting for the vet tomorrow morning. But there are a lot, like one man was there with an older dog and he was there at 9 o'clock at night because his dog can't lay down.
Oh.
So they don't think that that's an emergency. They think that that can be dealt with the following day at a veterinarian clinic as opposed to the emergency hospital. So it's, I think that we just all have to adjust to a new normal of there's not a lot of capacity in the Valley. And sometimes what we think is an emergency, because there are babies and it's happening to us too, probably could wait for the morning. So.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're thinking, this is my poor baby, I get it fixed. And they're like, nah, we'll get time tomorrow. We'll be fine.
Right. Well, I took a picture of the bowel movement that got us there to the intake gentleman, and he was like, oh, okay. Because otherwise she seemed pretty normal,
Oh, okay. Okay.
She seemed pretty normal. And if I didn't have a picture, he'd been like, why are you silly people here?
That makes sense.
So,
I like documenting everything myself. I'm that kind of person.
Oh yeah?
I want to document everything. I can show you.
I want to show you why I'm not crazy.
Yes, exactly. Because I worked in medical field. Sometimes they dismiss people. No shade to the medical profession. I believe in it, but there are people who, because they're so busy, a lot of times just go, oh well, I'm like, well, let me show you. My foot is now basically purple. Let me show it to you. Oh, okay, now I got it. Not that you're being a hypochondriac and overreacting. That happens.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to go through that. So that sucks.
Thank you. Yeah, she's regularly putting us through something dramatic. So she's living up to her husky rep. She's got street cred now. She's admitted to the emergency vet 3 times and she's 4 years old.
Dang.
Yeah. She's keeping it interesting, James.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
But she's fully insured. So we're like, okay.
Well, I would imagine she would be with the field you're in. I'm like, that's the one thing I'd imagine. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
To take care of. My mom's dogs were always, they're always insured. We went through a Banfield Health.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great for Scrabble. They were great. So
they just came actually to Chatsworth. They've been here a couple of years now, but before they were here, I'd never heard of Banfield.
Yeah.
So you have Banfield, you have VCA as like the larger at least here in California,
Yeah.
they're the larger vet clinics.
Yep. So, and they closed our clinic around well, after my dog died, they closed the clinic around the corner. Eminent domain. They said, we're buying up all the Inglewoods. They closed everything up.
Ow.
So that Belmar Pet Hospital was there since I was a kid. And Scrabble was on the wall for the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
I know. But they tore it down, built a parking lot, and put up a parking lot. Oh, yeah, like that song. Actually, where Belmar, right where Belmar was, the parking lot next to the Metro line. There's a new Metro line. They tore everything down so you can build a Metro line.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I know.
progress,
I mean, it's
right?
like, for me, it's like, I don't know how I mean, it's like I'm glad for the Metro line. It'll change my life, but also I'm kind of sad for all
Yeah.
those pieces that were there. The VA, there was a VA club that's gone, and I was kind of just like, it's kind of weird. And it's funny because now they just gave us a big announcement. They walked the streets of Inglewood to tell us that right behind me, there's going to be major construction for the next 5 months.
What are they doing?
5 months. I can't wait. It's going to ruin everything in my life. They're going to tear down those walls. They're going to tear down all these buildings because they're across the street from the new Metro that was built. They're going to make parking structures.
Oh, more parking.
So, but for Metro, not for us.
Yeah.
Metro.
Right.
But it's going to be interesting. I'm like, oh, they're expecting the folks to come, so they do that. But for me, what sucks is that all this, they're almost done with the Metro. So all this building over here is messing up with my Wi-Fi, our power. They're knocking the grid off. I'm on TV going, and it's like, so I mean, several times live, just like I'm just having a conversation with the audience, and all of a sudden, I was wrong.
All of a sudden, James was checked out. No longer recording.
No, I wasn't. So I'm like, this is just, it's very interesting. And they said from 7 to 3, whatever. I'm like, 7, that's early. I'm sorry, that's early.
That is early.
Everybody
There's
gets
a
up.
rule. There's like, is it 7 though, maybe?
I think it's 7 because I said it was because they said weather permitting 7 to 3:30.
Yeah.
And at 3:30, them I'm gonna cast the morning show. Sorry, they're done. I mean, they're locking the gate. They're like they're done at 3:30. But at 7 o'clock, I'm like, luckily I get up around 6:37. But there are times when I wanted to sleep in kind of, and I can't because they're so loud.
Yeah.
That's
It's funny, on trash day, I've noticed we've got a very early bird driver in the neighborhood. And so they'll usually start collecting trash at 8 in the morning. And it's just loud. The collection process is loud. But we've got a guy that like will show up sometimes at like 7:35, these weird times, you know? And it just cracks me up. Like, how did he break out early? Like, how did he get out of the command post early and start picking up trash at 7:35? I don't understand.
He wants to get home, I guess. There is a guy across the street, you know, try to use my words carefully this morning. I'm in one of those kind of moods today. He has a leaf blower. And I think he has OCD or something, because every single morning he's out there about 8 o'clock in the morning. There are no leaves, Melissa.
Oh, that's sad.
He's out there. I mean, he's like covering the area, and I'm like, he's not an old man. He's like younger than I am. I don't know, he's an old man or anything. Like if he has like some kind of whatever, I want to go, aw. But every morning at 8 o'clock, that's the last thing you want to hear over and over. There's no leaves. There's no leaves.
Disgusting. That's terrible. That is terrible.
One day I was standing outside with my phone high so you could see that I was trying to record a video or something in my garden.
Yeah.
He kept going. So he does it. He's doing it. You can kind of hear him up there right now. He's doing it. I'm like,
So we go outside and film him doing it and be like, "Good morning. You're on James and Melissa, coffee and conversation.
Hi, can you tell me why the F you got here every morning? It's just like, oh my God. So anyway, but yes, our trash comes early. My mother's trash in our neighborhood comes in the evening almost. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They finally come. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I like mine. I don't mind that. Mine coming early is fine. I just gotta make sure I get out there in time. So I have to get up I have to get out there I try to get out there by 7:30. The trash can's out. So they're just ready to go. And then they come as well. So, but I don't mind that so much. I don't mind that so much. So, trash.
Blower has to go.
The leaf blower has to go.
The leaf blower has to go.
That's
So on Citizen app, changing subjects.
our favorite app. Our favorite app.
Your
Yes.
favorite app. Did you see the flying Tesla stunt out of Echo
Yes.
Park?
Yeah, I saw it. Yes.
First of all, it's rented, right?
Yes.
And there are some video angles of this car literally flying through
Yeah, I
the air.
know.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it is
saw
kind of spectacular. But then you look at the street that as he's flying through the intersection, it's like steep, like the street is steep. And I'm thinking like, well, didn't he think that it wasn't gonna be a smooth landing, like it's so steep, like he's gonna hit the front of the car coming down. No, they didn't plan that far in advance, I guess.
No. Yeah, that's Citizen happens. It's something else all the time. Because sorry, my sister she was in Riverside. She's like, I heard it's raining in Inglewood. I said, I'm outside in the garden, there's not a drop in the sky. And then got over here. Just it's lying to me. I go, yes, it's lying to you. And then I saw the Tesla thing right after that. And then there was something happened in my neighborhood. Like somebody with a machete is running down the street around. I'm like,
Yeah, the machete is like number one.
all time.
Man with
How you get a
machete.
machete? Right. I don't know.
Always.
Or it was like it was an altercation on the corner. 2 people with an altercation on the corner. I'm like, okay. That's just an app is scary. I never want to leave my house. I never want to leave my house because this is an app. Never want to leave it all.
Yeah. You know what? Also, it was interesting. So much so I told Les, there were like 5 overturned vehicle collisions within probably 3 miles of our house yesterday. 2 roads completely shut down. And I'm like, how fast are these cars going to to collide and then turn over?
No, but have you noticed? I've noticed this now that I'm getting back in the world.
Yeah.
I think people are forgetting how to drive. And because they didn't drive for like 2 years. So they're back trying to drive. And everybody's in a hurry. It seems
Again,
everybody's in a hurry.
we've learned nothing.
And gas is expensive.
Is it ever?
So I was with my parents Saturday, and we were in Gardena. Folks know where Gardena is, South Bay area of Los Angeles. So I was in Gardena, and we saw this line. Is that for the Krispy Kreme? Like, because the Krispy Kreme was across the street. I said, I understand that, of course, because folks, I'm not a huge Krispy Kreme fan. But when their donuts come fresh off the conveyor belt, there ain't nothing like it. Anyway, we see the line. It was actually to a gas station. And the gas was $5.12.
Whoa.
For unleaded and $5.20 for premium. That line was around the corner, down the block. I was like, get that gas. I'm like, how did they get away with that?
Rapid volume, baby.
It was crazy. Because down the street, it was $6.29.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's all over. Les has, and I know all these apps and the cars have them, but as he's driving around town, he's got the check box turn on for like the gas stations, and they show the prices. So I'm having so much fun driving around as a passenger in his truck, like, oh, there's $5.40. Oh my God, there's,
I mean, we're laughing, folks. It ain't funny. I mean, it's funny, but
it's not funny. Okay, yeah.
It's
I
funny,
always
but it's
try
funny,
and
but
make
it's
a joke
funny, but
out of
funny.
anything because, you gotta laugh in life or else we're all in trouble. But
Yeah.
no, it's legit. Like it's, people in my family are talking about, well, maybe I won't come down for that visit right
no,
now.
No, right.
Because
Well, no, see, Melissa, also it's affecting the plane tickets. So we're seeing
Oh,
the
everything.
prices are so high. I'm
Yeah,
like,
all the cost of the food, I
yep,
mean, it's just, yeah.
yeah.
What is, I didn't look this morning, but I'm hoping the price of the barrels, because it did come down under 100 last
Okay.
week. I'm hoping it stays there. So, in a couple of weeks, maybe we'll start seeing some depressed gas prices.
Well, we see some depressed people about gas prices. Not about depressed gas prices. I mean, good luck on that
I
one.
want I want to make up for the inflated gas prices. Now I want depressed gas prices.
It's just so, it's like, okay, we're coming out of the Omicron variant thing. We're coming out of that. Life will be good again. Spring is sprung. I got spring fever. No, we have World War III about to happen and gas prices. I'm like, can we just catch a break, please? Can we catch a break? Cheese and crackers. What's going on? Can't take it
That's
anymore.
funny you say that. Cheese and crackers.
Ugh, but we just see, but we saw it was 512. We're like, wow, they were in line. We were in line. My parents already, they filled the gas tank halfway. They don't drive as
Yeah.
much. They don't drive as much because they filled it halfway. It was $56 for a half a tank.
Well, yeah. Well, we were having dinner last night at the house, and Brad was saying that at $75, the gas pump shut off. It wouldn't pump any more gas. So he doesn't have, he drives a big Ram pickup truck.
There you go.
He doesn't have a full tank, not because he didn't want one,
Right.
but because he couldn't get one. I'm like, I didn't know they shut off
Yeah, me
at
neither.
$75.
Me neither. Because my cousin did it for $90.
Yeah, it was.
And got 14 gallons
Jeez.
for her Traverse, their big Traverse. I'm like, you got these big cars, haha, that's what you get, like barely. Because that's not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. That's highway robbery. That's robbery. To me, that's just robbery. That's just it's crazy. I don't even understand. But yeah, but yes, the Cincinnati was crazy. But I was with my parents. We were in the South Bay area, and everybody back to bad drivers. And we noticed people are just in a hurry. It seems like they're just all like just running through lights. And so I'm seeing more accidents happening. And I was told this a long time ago, and I'll share with you, Melissa. What I was told a long time ago by an urban planner, no less, somebody I dated. This person could kiss my grits. But what they told me was something that was interesting. He said that on Fridays, check the mood. The mood is usually, I've worked all week. I'm tired. I hate my job. I just want to get home or get to my place to go party. And so people are on edge on Friday, so the driving's more aggressive. And also Fridays, a lot of times are the gateway to holiday weekends. So people are just more anxious and more aggressive. So there are a lot more accidents on Fridays because people are just like, they're driving nuts. Since Saturday, usually by Saturday afternoon is probably the safest time to go out. People are relaxed. They've either had rest already, they have the day off. It's just, they're just kind of like, they're in the middle of like a day. They don't have anything crazy going on. Saturday night is party night, in general.
Mm-hmm.
So folks, a lot of drunk driving happens on Saturday nights. So you gotta watch out for that. And they said Sunday is the calmest in the morning to afternoon. Then Sunday night, if anybody's out Sunday night, they're anxious to going back to work on Monday.
Right.
So I know. So when he told me that, I started actually, when I was out and about driving, watching and saying, yes, Fridays are just so, I'm telling you, I mean, I don't know how this in the Valley, but in LA, the traffic is starting at any time now. It could be 1:30 in the afternoon on a non-holiday Friday. And you're like, why am I on the 210 for the last 10 hours? I mean, like, why am I on the 105 and moving 5 miles an hour? It's crazy. But they're so aggressive. They're all just like, get away, you can't merge. No, it's just, and I've noticed, so take a look at one day when you're out and about on those 3 or 4 days, take a look at the mood. You may notice it also. I think it's very fascinating.
When I'm in traffic, I just see angry people all the time.
It happens every day. It's like, oh, well.
Happens every day. I'm not looking for, I have to be over the hill Thursday, which I love driving. I take one of the canyons over. I love it.
Coldwater Canyon or Laurel Canyon? Which one do you take?
Actually, I actually take,
Because cold water is more twisty. You're like, "Ooh."
cold water is more twisty, but I take, oh my God, Benedict Canyon.
Oh, man, Kenny, yes.
Yeah, because it's closer. Yeah, I'm way west in the valley.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And I can't wait to get out and drive. And then I'm thinking, oh, but I'll be in LA. Like people are not nice. They're just not nice drivers. So that brings the defensive aggressive driver out in me. So, and I'm really good about if I have to go over for appointments, I'm like 10, 11 o'clock, I want to be there and get the hell out of there by noon. Because if I'm there at 2 and have to come back over the hill, James, oh my goodness. No, just no.
So folks watching this, I just want to explain a little bit what we're talking about. So you can people are like, what are you talking over the hill? So there's Hollywood is a separation basically of LA and the Valley. It's Hollywood, the Hollywood Hills, Hollywood. So there's several entryways to get into LA that's not the freeway. Usually freeways are just effed. So many times it is like when I was mentioning Coldwater Canyon, they are more centered because I'm coming from North Hollywood or so that's over. You're right. You're over here. She's in the Valley West. She's like in the West Valley area. So Benedict Canyon comes over and brings you into the northern parts of Los Angeles city proper and county. So I just want to make sure people understand. They're like, wait, it's all over the hill. So, and literally it's over a hill, literally. You come over a hill. Like literally come over a hill. That's what you're doing. So I understand. Yes. And I live in LA, I know. It's crazy. They're all aggressive and crazy. You can't merge anymore. Nobody wants to merge. And the problem is there's so much construction in LA everywhere. Yeah. It's now made it extra congested. It's like for 20 years, nothing happened. All of a sudden, now everybody's building everything. I mean, everywhere, Melissa, everywhere. I mean, all the way down to where I'm in Palos Verdes, all the way up to Hollywood. They're building everywhere. Not just like, and it's like, okay, so it's 5 in the afternoon. We're closing off La Cienega. Really? 5 o'clock in the afternoon, closing La Cienega, major street in LA. Yeah. So I get it. So I totally get it. I like coming over the hill. I'd like that because I was in the Valley 2 weeks ago for the first time in ages, in 2 years actually, in Burbank, and we came over Coldwater Canyon, and it was like it's kind of nice. I love all the houses up there. It's kind of cool, but it's very like you're like, oh my God, hold on.
When I drive through the canyons, I always think about that car that's parked at the bottom of the driveway trying to merge into the canyon road. Yeah. I'm like, why would you choose it? It's gorgeous to live here. I get it. But if you have to leave every day, especially in the morning or like mid to late afternoon, it would be impossible to get out of your friggin' driveway.
Well, I was thinking the same, not to have a lot of people at my house, but I'm just thinking people come over, like, how do you even how do you do that? How do you do it? I don't get it. I don't understand. So, but it's beautiful. But folks know it's a beautiful drive. It's beautiful. And those homes, I mean, those people can buy and sell me and Melissa. They can buy and sell us, easily. They can sell me.
Not on principle, James.
What?
Not on principle. Meaning, like, yeah, they have a lot more money than we do, but they're not buying us for.
No, I get. I was like, no, something probably can buy me. So I'm sure I can be sold or whatever. I can be
sold. Oh, so I'm not speaking for you.
No, you're speaking for me. I can be bought in some cases. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, got it. So noted.
Yes, I have conditions. But
you have well, at least you have conditions.
But it depends. Let's like keep my options open. Let's keep them open, just in case. And I'm like, oh, look that over. Thank you. I want a full contract. My lawyers see it first. But I could be bought for the right price, depending on the situation. I fully admit that. I guess. Well, in Hollywood, always say, "Would you be a sellout?" Yes. Certain situation, I totally sell out.
Sign me up.
I would for a certain one. For certain, if it's something I've always wanted, and my soul wouldn't be too damaged, I'd do it. I'll take it. Okay, it's fine. As long as they do it, I admit it. That's right. I'm getting old, so I gotta get my retirement. my retirement. It was going on. So I was like, yes, you sell me. Okay, sure. Okay, good. It's a good opportunity. Throw me under the bus. Okay, mom, throw me under the bus. She understands. We have a whole system for the right price situation. But I will say this to you, Melissa, to be proud of me. Years ago, this is a well, I think years ago, I did turn down a money opportunity because I thought it would actually damage my soul. I didn't do it.
Really?
Mhm.
Now I'm really curious.
Okay, so I'm going to say this, folks. Oh my God, it's like I've told this a long time. It's funny you said that. I was like, I've thought this a long time. So I'll just say this: there was a popular reality show that was on E that wanted to showcase me as an organizer. But this is when I first learned it was produced. These shows are produced. They wanted me to act in a way that was completely not me
Oh,
to be on the show. And it wasn't just like, it wasn't, and because it's not a character in a sitcom or
right.
a movie,
It's you.
it's
Yeah.
me
You're putting that out there.
and my business.
Yeah.
I turned it down. And they offered me a lot of money. And the only clue I will say, it had to do with the family in a certain part of the valley.
Really? Oh, gee. I wonder who that would have
That's
been.
all I'm gonna say. And at first, Melissa, I will admit, because I know the effect you can have if you did that show on your career,
Yes.
it could have been wondrous for me.
Yes, of course.
But
But they'd have to want to hire crazy.
they really
And no
was
one really wants to hire crazy to be in their house.
no, and it was also very offensive to me what they wanted me to do. Just as a man, as a person, as a Black person, everything. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. So I applied, turned them down twice. They were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I'm sure." Oh no, I admit it for a minute. I was like, "Could I?" But I kept thinking about. I said, if my family and friends see this, they'll know it's not me. And
Yeah.
my brand is authenticity is my brand. I
Right.
talk about that on myself. Which I'll tell you a story, another show about me going off of somebody this weekend on my show.
Oh,
I'm a very passionate person. I cry. I've cried on this show before. I cry, I laugh, whatever. I thought if I do this show and it's a reality show, meaning it's reality, people may think that that's me
right.
who don't know me, but all my friends who know me will say James is being fake. See, James, you did that one show that time. Remember, that wasn't you, and I don't want that coming back at me. So I do have standard. I said I do have standard. I entertained it for a minute. I looked over the contract, but I was like, no, and because plus they have full control over edits and just
Everything.
everything. So I was like, so no, I'd rather dress as a giant taco and go on Let's Make a Deal. That's harmless. I'd rather go on Jimmy Kimmel Live as their first guest in 14 months. Like those things I will do. And they're much more meaningful. The taco thing made my laugh. It was like, I kept looking at myself going, wow, I have a taco. It made everybody laugh and it brought humor. That was different. You know what I mean? I guess that's just different. But
Totally different. And I'm proud of you. That's a tough opportunity to walk away from. So good for you, James.
It's one of those things. I think you may also notice this being in business. That experience taught me in my business. I have a choice who I work with.
Yeah.
Some jobs we've had where we work for somebody else, you have no choice. If they want you to work with this person or this company or this, you have to work for them. But I was like, once I got my own business, I'm like, no, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do anything I don't want to have to do. And if I feel like we're not a fit, we meet up, we're not a fit, I'm not going to do it just for the money. Like, well, you know what? Sorry, I'm not. Even if it's me, I'm not the right person for you. Sorry, I'll refer you to someone else, or you're not the right fit for me. I've learned that taught me that actually.
Good. No, that's important. And yes, I do know. It's hard when you're in business to walk away from a sale.
Yes.
But painfully, life teaches you these important, valuable lessons. And that money that you make is just simply not worth it. It's also a distraction from working on and with other folks that are a good match.
Yes.
So I've had to learn to trust my instincts and act on them. So with you, I think I'm better at it now than I was 5 years ago, to be honest, because I'm just also older.
There's
It's like
that,
less
that's that too,
tolerant.
girl. There's that. No, age is a great, it comes in handy. It does, because
It does.
you care less at the time and you know more.
Yes, absolutely. Knowing more is a good thing.
And so we'll end it on this note. Do
Mhm.
our next show, of course. I am James.
And I am Melissa.
This is Coffee and Conversation with James and Melissa. You can follow us wherever. And we're filming this show today, this episode, on the day it's actually our 20th episode that's out today.
Yay!
So check out that episode, all the other 19 and the ones after this, all the episodes on all streaming services on every single platform out there on audio. And then on the video, of course, it's JLJ Media, my online network, where I provide shows from Star Wars to soap operas and everything in between. Check us out, subscribe, like, comment. And thanks to those faithful watchers who tell me they love our conversations. They just love our conversations. And I appreciate that very much. Of course, so as I know Melissa does too, because we're friends. We grab our coffee, we talk about stuff that you're talking about also. And I encourage you, if you have friends, grab a coffee with them once in a while. Now that we're starting to open up a little more, or do a Zoom coffee or whatever, tea or whatever you're drinking. But friendships are very important. We'll see you next time.